party time. I'm welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show. Tuesday, Monday's hangover. We are in the Mothership Studio 22 uploading all the insanity. Favorite person, Kayla. Let's love Brandon, Super Chris Cruz at the helm driving us. And, of course, Sara Gonzales on the couch. What's up, girl?
Hello.
You look like a little, like you're ready for the prairie.
What? Maybe I am ready for the prairie.
You're to go build a little house or something.
Yeah. Things are getting crazy out there. Ready to just go.
Better get ready for some survival stuff, you know? You know what I thought about doing, Chris? I thought about doing a series of shows where we actually teach people how to survive. I think there's some things that people don't know how to do.
I would need that, actually. I would watch that. That's like, content that I would consume.
Yeah. Do you still have the rabbits? Yeah, you can eat rabbits, boy. Everybody should be raising rabbits. I got the shorts on today. I just didn't feel like getting dressed. And mostly because I have gout in my ankle. And yes, I know all of the treatments for it.
Did you just say everybody should eat rabbits?
Yeah, in the apocalypse. Everybody should raise rabbits so they can eat the rabbits. That's the whole deal. It's a good, easy food.
I don't think that's why Chris is raising the rabbits.
That's exactly why he's got them. He's raising the rabbits in case the bomb drops 100%.
But you're not actively eating your rabbits.
I'm not eating them yet.
What? No.
Well, I tried to save you from that one, Chris, but you know you can send your...
No.
Yeah.
You know you can just go buy meat at the store.
Get your moink box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no reason.
That moink box is probably intended for my address, but it goes to Chris Cruz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow magically you don't receive it every month.
Yeah. But rabbits. Yeah, you should have rabbits. You have chickens if you can have them. It's great for eggs, obviously. They don't come from anywhere else, so they're just great for eggs. You know, you could take a chewing gum wrapper, you know, the silver foil. Mm-hmm. You know, you can cut that into like an hourglass shape and then put one on, say, like a AA battery. Okay. Put the foil tip on one end of the battery and the other end of the foil on the other end of the battery, and the paper in the middle, the foil in it will catch on fire.
Really?
Like almost immediately. So you have to be quick. So you want to have your tinder ready to go. So if you have a battery and you have some of that little foil, you can start a little fire right there and just real quick. You can start a little spark and a flame.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's all kind of things. I'm telling you, man. People talk about all this stuff. I say you got to have God. You got to have fire. Yeah. You got to have food. You got to have water. You got to have shelter.
Yeah. All I know is when I was a senior in high school, my dad tried to teach me how to change a flat tire. Yeah. And I watched, and I watched him go through the process, and then immediately afterwards I was like, I don't remember at all what you just did, and this is why I'm just going to get me a husband. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did.
And it's not a bad move.
No, I mean, I do wish that I remembered what he said.
Well, I mean, there is a purpose to marriage and to being able to do certain things. I mean, historically speaking, marriage did serve a very large purpose of making sure that women were protected. Yeah. Like, because they weren't going to go out and build that cabin. Right. And the men did. Yeah. You know, and women by and large still don't. Right. Although, yesterday I was driving in here and I passed a work crew on the interstate. And I have to confess that for the first time in my life, 50 years and 2 months, I saw a female working on the crew out there.
Construction worker?
Construction out on the deal. Now, I mean, she was unloading the trailer. I don't know what her actual tasks and chores, but she was out there.
How do you know that it was a female?
It was a female.
But how do you know?
Because I know females when I see them. Oh. I know men and women. Wow. I know when men are trying to be women. I can tell.
I actually don't think I've ever seen a female construction
worker. In all my life, I've
either.
never seen that out on the highway. Huh. I'm not saying, I just haven't paid attention to it, but I said recently in a monologue here on the show that I'd never seen that before. Yeah. When I was talking about gender roles and just different things that we historically do, right? That's funny. You know, and I said to you last week when I said if you call a babysitter, it ain't going to be a dude.
Oh, absolutely not.
No. Because there's certain things that dude just ain't gonna do. I mean, a guy will put the baby in the microwave and forget it. Right. Right. It just, oops, I didn't know.
I mean, to the point where, like, when I was taking applications for the last one, I saw that it was a guy, and I was like, no, I'm not even looking at this.
So did you see the study that said that people who include they, them pronouns in their resumes are overlooked by employers? Yes. You see that?
Yes.
So by and large, employers are just kicking that to the side. Your woke bullshit doesn't work in the real world, guys. It sounds fun online. It really does. And I know all these people are going to lawsuit this and that, and we're going to sue our way into it. And yesterday we talked about how a trans woman, a dude, sued the Powerlifting Association and won in order to be able to compete. But powerlifting, to be fair and to qualify it, the Powerlifting Association is countersuing to keep them out.
Good.
So, sometimes we don't tell all of that story because where's the fun in that? But we were just pointing out the fact that this happened, and they had to cave. They bent the knee and bent over. At least they were forced to.
Well, the judge made them.
They were forced to, but they're fighting back. So that's why I say you see these headlines and these news stories, and you think, oh, I could do that. No. That woke bullshit only works online. It really does. By and large, women still want men to hold the door open for them, open up the car door. CJ texted me yesterday a picture. She had a flat tire.
Yeah.
And I said, what do you need? What have you got that under control? And she said, yeah, the AAA is on the way. And I was like, all right, because either I was going to send mine or you could use, and she used her dad's.
Yeah.
But either way, CJ ain't got AAA.
Right.
She ain't sitting around thinking about flat tires. And here I am 212 miles away from there and still walked her through the process of getting her car towed and, her taken care of.
Yeah.
I think women want that. I think by and large they do.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
And the ones who claim that they don't are the ones who are either single and very unhappy or married to an effeminate man and still very unhappy.
Yeah, it's like that. We had that clip yesterday and we didn't play it, Chris, where they were interviewing the people who said that they knew their baby was trans before he could talk. Do we still have that handy? This is what she means when she talks about a cuckold of a male. Yeah. Total beta, too much soy, overdosing. Play that clip if you have it.
Our daughter is 10 years old. She started letting us know that she was transgender really before she could even speak. She would do things like wear her sister's clothes, pretend that towels were her long hair. And when she was about 3 years old, she started to withdraw and become depressed. So we started doing some research. We talked to her pediatrician.
Yeah. So, little dude over there, can't wait to get back to his almond milk or whatever. Ooh, I'm thirsty. I bet he gets pushed around a little bit. I could say some things, but I won't on this show. Yeah. And listen, those of you out there that are like, oh, we need to be so kind-hearted and inclusive and accepting of it. No, you don't. This is bullshit. It's child abuse is what that is. These are morons. These are people who are abusing their child. They are indoctrinating their child. They're brainwashing their child. They're teaching the child from a very young age. The bottom line, this child has an older sibling, and they're emulating. They're doing the same things that they see the older one do. And you're like, oh, well, let's cut their balls off. Or, give them a girl's name, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, even if just confusing them mentally.
Yeah, and by the way, those of you out there in the conservative circles that do this whole tranny thing, stop that shit too. Okay.
Yeah.
Stop all that shit. It's not helping.
No, it's not.
It's not helping. So stop all that shit. And I know we want to follow these people because again, you want to feel all inclusive and accepting and all that stuff. Stop it. Stop it. I'm not talking about a person who has a true gender dysphoria. That's another mental thing to deal with. That's another thing for that person to deal with their doctor and how they go through life and all that kind of stuff. But putting this thing out there and putting it on a pedestal so you can appear like, oh, I'm not that bad. I'm not a bigot. Here, I accept everybody. I got a black friend. Shut the fuck up. I'm serious. It's like, what is wrong with you guys? I tell you what I want to be. I want to be a black conservative male today. That's what I want to be. I'd be printing money. and listen, because my buddies that are.
Yeah.
They are. I can say things, but they are. They're printing money. Well, because you know what we do? We want to pat ourselves on the back. Oh, look at us. We're so accepting. Stop it. Just let people be people.
To your point, though, about the trans issue, it's a whole different ballgame when you're talking about accepting it to a degree, because to accept it is you're still saying, I think that it should be present in society, which will still confuse children, right? Like when I'm out with my kids and there's a dude who's clearly dressed like a woman, they're going to have questions for me.
Yeah. Well, my thing is exactly, and that is something you have to deal with, and that's being adult. I mean, that's being an adult. You have to parent,
of course. But I'm just saying, but we don't want to actively advocate for that.
That's my thing. What I'm talking about is the active promotion of it. Right. Where we say,
you mean like supporting Caitlyn Jenner?
Yeah, I mean, like there's
for Republican nominee.
There's things about me that you shouldn't promote either.
Right.
I'm being fair here. I mean, there's things about me, my life, things I've done in the past. I don't want to promote those things.
Right.
I'd love to bury those things. So I'm not saying a person who's dealing with it, and it's a struggle, or maybe they've come to some kind of conclusion, or whatever with what they're doing. I'm talking about how we're glorifying some of this stuff and making it all okay. It's not okay.
Yeah.
It's not okay. And I really am tired of pussyfooting around this whole thing. I really am. It's like, I see what it's doing. It's just the insanity, and we're parading that stuff out there without a grasp on reality. And I'm just tired of it. Again, I say that with no judgment in my heart, unless you are doing something to influence people in a negative way. And I just feel like a lot of this stuff is, because you get this kind of thing.
Right.
Because children are involved, And here I want to talk about the January 6th tapes on this segment. Sarah? Well, you saw them all.
I did.
Okay. Well, the government's full of shit. All right. How about that? We summed it up. They lied.
Yes. I mean, it's not just they lied. There are political prisoners right now sitting in prison because they lied.
Yeah.
Every single one of those people on the January 6th committee they should have charges brought up on them for their part in it. The way that they deceptively edited videos that we're now seeing are not actually true. The way that these defendants didn't have access to these videos that would have exonerated them. And they ended up pleading guilty in some cases, when you know how the justice system works. They strike you with a bunch of charges, hoping that you will plead down.
Yeah.
They push you to plead down. You're being told by your attorney, like, I guess I need to plea out so that I don't get all of these charges. And so you do. And then everyone wants to go, oh, well, they pled guilty, so that means he admitted he did it.
Yeah, nobody has $500,000 to pay a lawyer to fight every charge that's going to be brought up against you. It's stupid. I mean, so we now saw, there's a video clip of the QAnon shaman, who's bad wardrobe, but he's out there being led around in the Capitol building by police
very calmly,
and then he gets up and says a prayer for the police. It's the right thing that he did. No, but come on, insurrectionist, really? I mean, here he is walking around. The police are right there. I mean, at one point in time, he's got like a dozen cops around him. They never grab him. They never cuff him. They never do anything. This guy's sitting in jail is in prison for 4 years. And they just follow him around. And so it's a bunch of BS. Then you see Officer Sicknick, who tragically passed away after this thing. People say, oh, he died because he got hit in the head with a fire extinguisher. He was a Capitol Police officer. And, after the little melee, there he is walking around in the building, still out there. He's in the Capitol building, still doing his job. He's still telling people where to go.
With a helmet, by the way.
He's got a helmet on. He's quite vigorously directing traffic right there. And then that was after he was supposedly attacked and, quote, murdered by insurrectionists. And the funny thing about it is, and it's not funny, but they keep calling it insurrection, and nobody's ever been charged with insurrection.
No.
Nobody. Never been a charge of insurrection.
No.
So, again, it's media lies, media bullshit. But again, who do you blame? You blame the government.
It is. Well, but that's why I'm saying, like, did you see the Josh Hawley video? Yeah. I mean, that right there sums it up. The video that the government played, that our own lawmakers played, they knew the full context. They had to see the full context in order to get the clip of Josh Hawley running away. Yeah. They knew it. They absolutely knew it. They did it on purpose to push their narrative. You're talking about government officials doing that.
Trump broke them.
He really did.
Trump broke them.
But if the Republicans do not give it right back to these people, if there are not serious repercussions for these people, lawmakers and everyone else involved, we're done. As a society, as a civilization. How does a civilized country have this happen, see evidence that the government has participated in this, and not make sure to take steps that those who participated in it are actively and harshly, have sentences, and make sure that it doesn't happen again?
Yeah, and I mean, listen, we are being run by liars and thieves.
Yep.
And they have an agenda, and they're pushing it, and we saw it.
Yep.
But you know what? We knew it all along.
We did.
We knew it. Now, does that mean everybody that did something on January 6th is innocent? No. People made some real bad decisions, did some real dumb things. But again, and they're like, 400 people pled guilty to Exactly.
Right.
They were basically forced to.
Exactly.
So anyway, speaking of surviving, killing your rabbits, the global conditions are getting worse and worse every day. Is Armageddon right around the corner? Could be. We don't know. I highly recommend. Oh, and by the way, Armageddon will happen at some point in time. Maybe now, maybe later, maybe multiple generations from now, but it will happen at some point in time. I highly recommend you stock up right now on emergency food right away. Now, if you want to be eating rabbits like me and Chris, you could do that, but you already know you're going to need some good food someday, and you need to get it now before it's too late. And I'm going to help you to do that by going to mypatriotsupply.com. Stock up on their popular 3-month emergency food kit. You'll also get $200 worth of rugged survival gear as a free bonus. Just the iodide stuff that's in there alone is worth that. So you'll need this gear when things fall apart. The grid goes down any other time you need to fend for yourself. See what you get. Go to mypatriotsupply.com. Get your $200 bonus gift. It comes with a free comes free with each 3-month emergency food kit that you order, and you need to get a kit for every member of your family. So be prepared. Don't delay. This offer will not last forever. Act now. Sleep better knowing your family won't suffer when disaster strikes. Go to mypatriotsupply.com. Enjoy free shipping as well. mypatriotsupply.com before it's too late. Be right back. How do I feel about my period? I love it. And that's why girls like you love girls like me. No more period pain. Go from blue balls to red walls with Chad's pads. Have confidence in your new vagina sans uterus. Never let your period be a drag. Are you worried about internal sanitary protection? It may be because your vaginal canal is the same skin that used to be inside your butthole. Worry no more. Now you have a choice when it comes to feeling fresh during your non-existent menstrual cycle. Chad's pads, the maxi with moxie for the gal that used to be a man. Stick it where your dick used to be. Hey, stick it where your dick still is. We all know that trans women are twice the bitchy with only half the bleeding, but no matter what kind of girl you're becoming, we got you covered, sister. Got a swim meet this afternoon with the girls? Don't attract the sharks with your imaginary chum. Use Chad's pads for that extra layer of ass-kicking protection. Chad's competitive cycling while on your cycle? Protect your Lance Armstrong with Chad's pads. Powerlifting with the ladies? Pick up Chad's pads first. A real fake girl needs to feel secure. Make sure your only heavy flow is on the dance flow, ho. Ain't nothing gonna cramp your style. Chad's pads is breaking down those pesky period taboos when it comes to bleeding and spotting and the occasional erection. Be proud and let your lady bits breathe with the Chad pads patented dick hole. Need to dilate your new vag, but worried about putting a pad cover over your freshly minted lady garden? Flip the script and never worry with the Chad's Pads dynamic dildo inserts. Dildo not included. Chad's Pads, when you're ready to roll out the red carpet and be proud of the fact that you've disappointed your dad. Don't pull down your panties to find a murder scene. Stay clean with Chad's Pads. Periods aren't just about blood. They also contain chunks of uterine lining, which you don't have because, well, let's not talk about that. Chad's pads are lightly scented, however, with a luxurious shrimp boat aroma that adds volumes to your magnificent monthly friend. Oh, feel that? It's not a poop, it's your period. We took the men out of menstruation, and with Chad's pads, there's no need for summer's eve. You've already been a douche for most of your life. Remember, ladies, it's good to be authentically you. Just look at me. Choose Chad's pads. You love them, and I bet my balls on it. Oh, and remember, don't be an anti-vagger. Chad's pads are environmentally friendly. If you can't go red, go green. Please visit chadpads.com. Well, all right. I can tell you, Sarah.
I have no words.
That I feel empowered.
Do you?
I do. With the
you look empowered.
With the Chad Pads patented dick hole right there. If you still have the Audi, bam, you got a place for it to go. And if you have cut it off and you got the innie, boom, you can vagodilate all day long. Uh-huh. And actually,
oh God.
Yeah. That's for the clitoris you don't have. Have fun with that, boys. girls, whatever you are. I could tell you that any man who does this as a lifestyle is insane. Chad's pads. You know, I just figure that we need to be empowering. That's the only word that I can come up with. This morning while I was putting on my makeup, are you crying?
A little bit.
Are you crying?
A little bit.
Are you now seeing me differently?
It's hard to just have you're just talking to me and having a regular conversation.
You're staring at me as though I'm about to be executed or something with tears in your eyes. My shoes, I mean, I don't think you could appreciate my shoes. They busted because I have men's feet. That's a fact.
They lasted a whole 5 minutes.
Yeah, and then my pearls broke too.
Yeah.
And so
you were not cut out for this lifestyle.
No, it wasn't. But you brought me a brooch.
Yes.
Or something.
It's a necklace.
It's a necklace?
Yeah.
Not a brooch?
No.
A brooch. And then the funny thing is, it barely fits around my gigantic neck.
It was not meant to be it's not a choker on me.
Yeah.
It was not meant to be a choker.
No. It's, well, I'm a new girl, so maybe I want to try new things. You know? This is, it's empowering. It really is.
That's not quite the word that I would use.
No?
No.
Chad's pads.
Mm-hmm.
I had to sit there and write comedy gold at 5 a.m. this morning. Made me feel like a woman.
It was a fun thing to wake up to.
A natural woman. People wonder what goes through my head, and I have to say thanks to the Fact Pack and the live chat crew for giving me the idea for Chad's pads.
That's so funny.
Last night's episode. They said you need to do Chad's pads, and I said we'd do it because we deliver. I mean, not like a real woman delivers,
right?
But as a man can deliver, content, not a baby or anything like that.
It actually is very impressive how quickly you came up with all of this.
Yeah. It's pretty fast. And when I get my brain going, it works. Chad pads, not Chad's pads, chadpads.com.
I'm scared what I might find if I go there. Like I grabbed my phone thinking I'm going to go there. And then I was like, nope, not a good idea.
There it is. Chadpads.com.
Like, is this a...
How do you feel about me like right now? Like, what does this do for you? Like when I'm walking around, I'm walking around commando. Okay, there's nothing but me and the giblets. So I'm still a dick out kind of girl. Okay, like I'm still have the thing in the patented Chad's pads dick hole. Mm-hmm. Mine sticks out.
Okay,
I don't have the vagodilator.
Right.
I'm walking around with my giblets on. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine doing this in public, much less doing this around children.
Right.
It's frightening.
With the slit. In the skirt.
When I sat down, I was like, I got to be real careful.
Yeah, he was very slow and strategic about that.
Because
so
I
no
promise
one saw
you, folks, the close-up on camera number 1 is not anything you want to see if that slips out. This is not Sharon Stone. All right? This is ugly. It really is. This is it's one thing to be a transvestite, okay? Mm-hmm. But when you try to pretend like you're actually a woman, which is the point we're trying to, again, the drag shows, that's one thing.
Right.
You do that all you want to do. I don't care what you dress up, play all that stuff. Do that as long as kids aren't around. But people who actually feel like or want to be a woman, a lot to take in.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something that, all of the things that you're talking about, all of the work that you had to do to get ready. Yeah. I mean, it's not.
And that's with a makeup girl.
Fun?
That's with a makeup girl. Look at my eyelashes. Just appreciate the lashes.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, we needed that because when I put on the makeup, it starts to point out all the flaws. Like I need an eyelid lift. Like it's hiding. I have eyeshadow under there, but it's hiding behind the flaps of my old skin. And we were in there. Our makeup expert in there. She of course she was showing me. She's like, okay. Because they have to do makeup for a lot of different types of people in her deal, her company. And she was like showing me pictures. I was like, see, I can tell that's a man. I can tell that's a man. I can tell that's a man. Like everything she showed me, these were people who were really trying to look like a woman. It's like, I could tell that's a man.
Yeah.
And then she showed me one. I was like, no way. And she was like, no, that's a girl. I was like, see, my radar's on point, Brandon. I know, man. I can sense a dick. I know when it's around, Jack. What's funny is I bought this dress at the Target today, and when I went shopping at the Target, man, the girls that were working there, they were They had questions.
You sent me a picture of your cart.
Yeah.
And I was like,
well, okay.
God bless whoever checks you out at the register.
I had pads. This is an actual box of pads. Like, I want to go to the parade and, like, give these out, you know, just like, come on, girls. I went in there. I had pads. I had this vibrator for our patented dick hole. And then I had I had my shoes and my dress, and I had pearls that broke. Anyway, I had all this stuff, and it charged me. I went to the self-checkout calls. Yeah. And so it charged me twice for the shoes. And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to buy 2 pairs of shoes, even though I only had 1 pair, because I'm not calling for assistance. And then I was like, Chad, you be who you are. You be authentically you.
I don't think that.
And that's what I did. I was like, how do you feel about your period? I love it. That's why girls like you love girls like me. And little girl, she came over there and she helped me. She had questions too.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, Target is a pretty safe spot for you to go. I've seen pronoun pins on cashiers at Target.
Yeah.
I actually have seen someone who looked very similar to you who was at the register at Target. Yeah.
Well, our very own Allie Stuckey walked out. And she saw me at the end of the studio there, and she walked up to me and she said, so, Chad, she goes, I'll be honest with you. She said, I saw you from a distance, and I thought you were honestly a trans person. And I was like, I look that good, huh? You want to run over here and read the Bible to me? Anyway, we had a nice chat. We talked about girl things,
really,
like water retention and babies, and you know, she's got the babies.
Right,
They're so beautiful.
Yeah.
One day.
You can relate.
One day. Listen, man can dream.
Yeah. What hole are you gonna push?
I'm gonna put it right out of my birthing hole.
The birthing hole.
The birthing hole.
Okay.
I'm a birthing person with a birthing hole.
And so where is your womb located?
Well, wherever the fetus decides to exit, he'll make a way. Life makes a way. From Jurassic Park taught us that. Life will find a way.
No.
Yes.
What you're describing is just like a poop.
A poop. Well, I'll probably do that too. I'll have me a little mud baby. A little tar baby. And I can dress up like a woman, but calling something a tar baby from Disney's Song of the South, that's probably what will get us canceled. All right. Well, here's where we have to do the really humiliating thing. We've got to take care of our sponsor, Bespoke Post.
I'm not sure that they want that.
They're probably going to want Chad to take a whole new quiz for his box of awesome. And I tell you, they do have stuff for you girls out there. So I want you guys to be members. Join up, just like me. Not of this club, but of Bespoke Post. Their box of awesome is awesome. When you get over to their website, they got all these unique items that are hand curated from a small business that you probably never would have heard of otherwise, and they'll send it right to your door. They got the cozy essentials to travel must-haves, cocktail kits, and Box of Awesome's got everything you need to get this month. And so you go over to boxofawesome.com, you take the quiz, your answers are going to help them pick the right Box of Awesome for you. They're going to release new boxes every month across a ton of different categories, and each box is valued at around $70, but you only pay a fraction of that price. So get 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com. Enter the code watchchad at checkout. That's boxofawesome.com. Use code watchchad. Get 20% off your first box of awesome. Boxofawesome.com. Code watchchad, and we'll be right back. Sarah.
What are you? No.
What happened? What happened in here while I was gone?
All sorts of things that you do not even want to know. Why are you? Why
I am?
Are you smelling?
It's the scent of a shrimp boat.
Oh,
they really captured the essence. Bubba Gump. They really captured it. Just kind of.
I want no part of this.
Really kind of permeates the room. Well, let's talk about something more pleasing.
Please.
Yeah. All right, most of you know, and you know your history well enough to know that there was a certain Nazi scientist during World War II by the name of Dr. Joseph Mengele. He's a particularly unsavory cat in the annals of the history of human brutality. And I bring him up advisedly to you now, lest I should be accused of being the boy who cried Nazi as the rest of my tale unfolds. But no, what I want to do is tease out an element of the man's psyche, because we're going to need it here in a minute. Joseph Mengele was headquartered in the Auschwitz death camp, and from there he ran some of the most horrific experiments imaginable on fellow human beings. He broke people in just about every way you can break people. He stole their lives, their dignity, their sanity, sometimes all in one fell swoop. Now set aside the Nazi uniform for a minute, and let's just ask ourselves a basic, simple question. What inside of that man allowed him to do those things? That's the question we want answered. What made him the monster that he was? And we'll come back to that in a minute. But for now, I want us to have a peek at a middle school in Suffolk County, New York, where a teacher by the name of Deborah Rosenquist is alleged to have manipulated one of her students to change her gender and become a boy. She began calling the unnamed girl Leo and would use male pronouns to refer to her during class. And all the while, the school's administration and faculty were either unaware of what was going on or stayed silent about it. Well, the predictable result, this young girl began drawing sad pictures which constituted suicidal ideation. And let me break in here to ask, when in the blue F did suicide become a thing committed by fifth graders? When did we reach the absolute nadir of decency and sanity in this country to the point that kids who have barely begun to dance upon the skin of the world would have souls vexed to the point of suicidal despair? But there you have it. Welcome to the woke wasteland. They don't want your children to be innocent in any other conceivable way, so why stop shy of letting them contemplate putting a gun to their own heads? Anyway, this teacher finally got caught in a predicament of her own making, and now there's a lawsuit. Deborah Rosenquist, as of right this moment, continues to work in her position, no doubt grooming other children on the path towards some artificial, doomed, and ultimately damned quest for the ultimate moments in self-realization. So let's go back to the Nazi piece of excrement I referred to earlier, because at least he's dead, so I don't mind thinking about him as much. I asked at the beginning of this, what do you think in his psyche allowed him to do what he did to others? The answer is simple, and it's as old as civilization itself. The answer is he was able to look at the Jews and the Romani and the mentally feeble people who shuffle their way through his killing bottle and see something not human. Folks, it's a requirement. You don't acquire the necessary murderous mental tools to do something like that unless you can completely shut your empathy down sociopath style. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not saying this teacher is a Nazi. I'm saying that what it would take to call a girl a boy name against her will until she was so confused that she couldn't tell reality from fiction anymore, it's the same thing it takes to snuff out the lives of others. You need to first kill off the empathy within your soul. So listen up, my little barbarians. This is yet another living example and a reason to get your kids the hell away from the public school system. Yes, I know. It's a small example, but this is what happens in a society where life and language, values, and standards not only become redefined, but are also considered antiquated to the point of uselessness and ultimately tossed out. It's a sad story. It's a sad story. Can you imagine the stuff that's going on that we don't know about?
Nope.
And again, these folks, they come out of these little academic bubbles. They go to college and they come out with these ideas in their head. From these lifeless, soulless professors that taught them for 4 or 5 years. Never tested their weird theories in the real world. They just pushed their papers around on a desk and spit ideas, and they come out with these ideologies. And then what do? They try to put them on your kids. Hey, listen, my thing is, if you don't value an unborn child,
right,
you don't value a born child.
Yes, correct.
So, and we know for a fact the shout your abortion crowd, which has gotten, way past safe, legal, and rare, and the fact that they don't want to call an unborn baby a baby. It's a fetus. It's a protoplasmic blob. It's a clump of cells. It's a mass of tissue. These are all redefining the language. When you throw that out, you start to lack empathy. Mm-hmm. And now you see these little monsters. And now what do we hear? We hear guys want to depopulate the planet, and you're going, well, that sounds fun. But again, it's just people are just termites, right? We're just too many termites on the tree, and we got to get rid of some of them in order to last. Who's going to last? It's the people who can manipulate January 6th videos and the billionaires who go to Davos on their private jets.
It really is incredible, too, when you look at what they are teaching children in schools versus how many cities across the country, they're showing up with tests like none of our 8th graders are proficient in reading, you know?
The Baltimore school system, they just did a deal where 0% could read.
Right. And that's why I'm saying it. I mean, it's not just Baltimore. There was another city, I can't recall off the top of my head, but there was another city, I think a month before that it was the same thing. Yeah. It was the same thing. It's happening across the country that like they quite literally are not using the skills that they need to move along in the world. They're just being indoctrinated with disastrous consequences.
You have to put Chad's pads on society to stop the flow, stop the leakage, the brain leakage right there. Chad's pads.
Hold on. I have a question about that. So have you considered that it might not be great at stopping the flow when there's a dick hole?
You know what? It's absorbent, okay. Sarah. Chadspads.com. Look at the graphic right there.
Chadpads.com.
Adult toys.
Wait a second.
Yeah,
what?
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
That's a whole other thing.
Is that what we're selling at Chadpads?
I want to try to return this vibrator to Target and see if they'll take it.
My God. Could you do that and film it?
That'd be funny, right?
That would be really funny.
Just come in like just holding it.
Yes.
With the charger cord. Yes. And just come in like with it in your hand and be like, this didn't work.
Be like, this stopped working halfway through. I want to return it.
I couldn't finish. Finish.
Please do that.
This thing is defective. Brandon will go do it. We'll start doing that. We'll start returning toys. But see, I think if you go into an adult toy store, they're pretty much all sales final.
Yeah.
I think they pretty much have that in a neon sign up there. But Target.
Also, the person at the register will definitely not be equipped to handle your questions.
No.
They will have not dealt with that particular return question.
Man, I'm tired of society. I really am. I mean, it is chock full of comedy material that we can continue to poke fun at, and we will. Chad's Pads is just the beginning. Chad's Pads. Chadpads.com. Check it out.
Jeremy Boring thought he had something going on.
Jeremy Boring had chocolate.
Please.
We had feminine hygiene. Telling you, you don't have to have chocolate. But you got to have chadpads.com.
Oh, my God.
Boy, the stuff my brain comes up with.
And by the way, totally sober when he came up with it.
Totally. 5:00 this morning. See how we can pull things together, boys, when we try. I wanted to bring that up. I didn't want to, but could somebody please put some stair chairs on the Air Force One and just bring him right on up?
Just to lift him?
Yeah. This guy cannot go up the stairs and get on a plane. And it's the same damn step.
Is it really?
Every single time. He always gets halfway up, and there it is. Boom, bloom, bloom, bloom. Oh, and he's going to put in the little run. I got to make him see that I'm vigorous.
He meant to do that.
Yeah. I mean, just... Like, oh, yeah. It's sort of like when you trip on something, you always have to look back at it.
Yeah.
Like you're walking down a sidewalk, you stub your toe, you got to look back at it to be like, oh, wow, what was that? Something jumped up and grabbed my foot. Joe, dude, seriously, man, he needs an escalator at this point to get into Air Force One. That's bad.
Imagine him in another term.
Oh, no. I can't imagine that.
We got to survive the first one.
I can't imagine that. I think there's gonna be a third party fiasco.
Really?
Yeah, it could go either way. Like, let's say the GOP doesn't give Trump the nomination, and I could see Trump doing that. I hope he doesn't. And then I could also see it happening on the left.
Who on the left?
Like if Joe decides to run and he's the guy, and Bernie, I don't know. You could have a Bernie Sanders, the guy that on Bill Maher's show can't define equity or equality.
So good.
I think I'll go with equality. Yeah.
Congratulations! You finally come around.
Yeah, I believe in equality of opportunity, not equality of success, but I think I'll take equality. Clown show, I tell you. Hang tight. We'll be right back.
Yes.
I know where we were gonna go, but let's play a different thing. Let's play the let's do the cops. Let's do the cops. Do the Cop City.
You realize we're on, right?
But listen, they know me. They know me. Let's do this. We're just hanging out. Do the Cop City. This was Atlanta, right? Mm-hmm. Where Antifa did. That was a coordinated attack against this. And I mean, first of all, go back, play from the beginning of that clip. Watch how this guy throws right here. Oh, wow. I mean, this is again. Y'all are playing video games right here.
They are LARPing.
I mean, y'all haven't ever come up against something for real. Like, did you see? By the way, speaking of that,
oof.
Yeah, I mean, they're just doing the bottle rockets and the whole deal in there, and I mean, you could end that like that, right? I mean, that's
that's violent.
Yeah, I mean, looks like insurrectionists.
I was going to say, I can't wait to see how the justice system treats them.
Oh, they're going to slap on the wrist, and then you had one of the dudes was a if I can get on my page over here, one of the dudes was a attorney for the Southern Poverty Law Center, and they arrested 23 of them for domestic terrorism, and they put the attorney in there with Southern Poverty Law Center. So, did you see? It just came out. I just saw it this morning. The dude who kind of lost his mind on the airplane. You seen that clip yet? The dude gets up and he's threatening to kill people. No. And then he takes like a pin out or something like that. He comes out of his seat and he walks all the way to the front of the plane where a flight attendant interrupts his deal and he stabs him like that and goes at him. And then people finally get up and wrestle the guy. And I'm like, bro, let me tell you something. If you're ever on my airplane,
yeah.
If you're on my airplane, and he's standing up at the exit seat, by the way, right by the door,
right,
and he's barking at everybody, and the people are just filming it. And I'm like, see, that's the problem with our society. Yep. We're too busy filming stuff for the gram, instead of kicking somebody's ass.
World star hip hop.
Yeah, I'm like, I know you want to tick and talk, but that dude needs to get popped right now. Like you smother that dude. Mm-hmm. He's out. I'm sorry, you're not. He even says, I'm going to go take over the plane. And then starts marching up towards the front. And there's people in there. There's 3 grown-ass men in the row in front of him with their earbuds in, just totally ignoring it.
No.
And I'm like, son, I'm sorry. I might die, but I'm taking you with me.
Yeah.
You going down, brother. And I mean, you ever get on the airplane, guys? Y'all ever get on the airplane, just look around and be like, this motherfucker right here. Like, I got my eye on you, fool. Like, I start judging people. Like, when I get on the airplane, I start looking around and being like, is this a bunch of people that could die today? Like, is God done with this crew? Because this was like a bunch of heathens on this damn plane right here. Like, I know I got reasons to live, man. I got stuff of value going on in my life, but I'm looking at you fools like maybe God's willing to give me up to get rid of y'all. You ever get like that? You ever look on a plane and look around and be like, no, man, these people ain't got nothing to live for.
You know this. I am terrified of flying. Every time I fly, I am the worst person to tell that to.
I get on a plane, I don't even think about it. Because you're out of control, right? I don't even think about it.
That's why I hate it.
But it's not a great feeling of being out of control. But I mean, I just do it so much. Yeah. So you get on there, you're like, okay. I mean, listen, the law of averages is not in my favor in that regard. I mean, I take a lot of chances because I get on a lot of damn airplanes. I mean, blessed airplanes. I want to make sure me and God are still good on that whole deal, Because I'm going to look around at all these fools that look like they need to, go on down in flames, and God's going to be like, oh, you don't want to call it a damn airplane.
It's not even that, though. Now it's all what's going on at the FAA. Mm-hmm. Have you seen all of those near misses?
I want to play that clip.
Oh, do you have that?
We have it. This is the, you don't have it? Nope. The Biden FAA nominee? Where he was asking all the questions?
Yes.
And it's like, he can't answer nothing.
No basic knowledge about that.
Here's what I said on Instagram. When I talked about it on Instagram, I said, but he is a well-spoken, articulate, clean, black man. I wish he wasn't a man, but you can't have everything.
Right.
All right?
Right.
He is an articulate black man who's clean. And I'm just using Joe Biden's
words. For who?
Well-spoken, articulate, clean. And by the way, on that note, United Airlines is now doing the whole diversity hires. What's up? Doing the diversity hires. And they were painting the pride flags on the side of the plane. And I'm like, you know what? I would like to have somebody that like, let's paint the flag on there that says this pilot knows how to fly this damn plane.
Right. Like that's literally all I need in a pilot is someone who is an expert at flying the plane and landing safely. That's all I need.
Because 99% of the male flight attendants on the planes I get on are gay.
Yes.
And I know that.
Yes.
And I don't care.
Right.
I don't care. I don't like, I want to know though if you can do the best job.
Right.
Right? Same with the pilots. I don't care. Just do the job.
Right.
We don't need to be painting flags on the planes.
No.
God say that one. Nah, it'd be all of us straight people that'll go down. That's the problem, man. Straight people straight people are way more problematic though.
I beg to differ.
It depends on the gay. There's a different level.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
There's a different caliber gay.
You can't. First of all, I do think that there needs to be a complete divorce between the LGB and the T. I think the T.
Yeah.
There needs to just be a total.
Somebody's got to stand up for the Two-Spirit. They just don't. Listen. Somebody got to stand up for that.
That's a great point.
My new shirt. If you come to the shows this weekend, my new shirt. I love pronouns. Let me she them titties. Have y'all seen it? Have y'all seen the mock-up for it? It's fantastic.
It's pretty funny. Well, I hate it because it's funny, but I'm like, oh, if anyone wears that shirt around my kid, I'm killing Chad.
Nah.
But it's funny.
It's okay. Your kids have seen them. You're still breastfeeding both of them.
No,
and you got one of them in 6th grade.
No, I'm not.
That kid's got to tell you to come around the door so he can get a little privacy so he can eat. You're like, Mama.
We're weeding the younger one. Shut up.
Yeah. All right. Hang tight. We'll be right back. What's your new email address for your show where people can ask you questions?
Dear Sarah @theblaze.com.
All right.
We're giving, look, Dear Abby ain't got nothing on me. So hit me with your life,
And you're going to answer it on the show, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep, we're going to answer it on the show.
I like this.
I had someone I said, ask me questions about Chad's personal life. I said, I will actually pay you to not tell me anything about Chad's personal life.
So much to tell. I'm going to be at Baton Rouge, Louisiana at Chelsea's on Thursday night, chadpratherlive.com. We're already being boycotted at Hanks and McKinney, the Satanists.
So great.
Are already boycotting us for March 24th.
No Satanists at your show?
No Satanists. I don't think they were coming anyway. They're not fans of the Ragamuffins.
Darn it.
But no, I'll be in Baton Rouge, and then I'll be in Tifton, Georgia, Toccoa, Georgia this weekend, chadpratherlive.com. I love you guys. Subscribe to The Blaze, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.